afternoon, America. I said I wasn't going to be here today, but the team thought I should be. It's Eric Erickson here. These are the four things you need to know this afternoon. As always, cutting through the noise, giving you the honest, unvarnished truth from a conservative perspective. Today, we're covering Trump's move to lift Syria sanctions, the opening of Florida's new Alligator Alcatraz immigration detention facility, the administration's crackdown on Harvard over anti-Semitism, and the federal lawsuit against Los Angeles' sanctuary city policies. Let's dig in. The White House announced today President Trump will sign an executive order terminating U.S. sanctions on Syria. This is a major development in U.S. foreign policy, one that deserves a clear-eyed look, not just partisan talking points. The sanctions in question were first imposed in response to the Assad regime's brutal war tactics in the Civil War and human rights abuses. For over a decade, they've aimed to isolate Syria economically and diplomatically with the hope of pressing Assad to change course or step aside. But after years of fighting now, Syria is devastated, millions are displaced, the humanitarian situation is dire, and Bashar al-Assad, he's gone. According to the White House, the move follows Trump's earlier decision to begin easing restrictions in May. The stated goal: help Syria rebuild and stabilize after years of conflict. The administration argues the sanctions have become a blunt instrument, hurting ordinary Syrians more than the regime and preventing meaningful reconstruction now that Assad is gone and the new regime is there. Conservatives believe in American strength, but we also believe in realism. Endless sanctions that don't achieve their goal can become counterproductive. They often entrench dictators, empower our adversaries like Russia and Iran, and punish civilians. Trump's move is a pragmatic recalibration, an acknowledgement that our policy tools need to change to fit the realities on the ground as they have changed. There will be critics. Some will say this helps radicals tied to ISIS. Others will claim it's too soon. But Assad is now gone. The radicals seem to want to moderate. Arab neighbors and Israel are okay with it. So let's see if we can help a people rebuild their country now that the Assad regime has collapsed. Tomorrow, President Trump will join Governor Ron DeSantis to open a new immigration detention facility in the Florida Everglades nicknamed Alligator Alcatraz. It's a headline-grabbing step in the administration's ongoing crackdown on illegal immigration and a vivid example of state-federal cooperation. The facility is built on a remote airstrip in Miami-Dade County, surrounded by swamp and wildlife, mosquitoes, pythons, and yes, alligators. The location was chosen for its security and isolation. As Florida Attorney General James Uthmeyer put it, if you're housed there, there is no way in, no way out. DeSantis used emergency powers to take the land and fast-track construction, responding to a Department of Homeland Security requests for more detention capacity. The goal: process and deport illegal immigrants more efficiently, with detainees flown out directly from the facility's runway. National Guard members will serve as immigration judges to expedite hearings, a force multiplier. In DeSantis' words, let's not mince words here. The border crisis is real. The American people have demanded action. For years, the left has handcuffed law enforcement and prioritized the feelings of activists over the safety and sovereignty of our nation. The facility is a direct response to that failure. Yes, there are protests. Environmentalists and open borders advocates are already suing, claiming the project could harm the Everglades. Some Native American leaders object, saying the land is sacred. But here's the bottom line. The federal government has a duty to enforce the law, and states like Florida are stepping up to help. That's federalism in action, and it's exactly what voters demanded at the ballot box. Up next, the Trump administration finds Harvard in violent violation of Civil Rights Act over anti-Semitism. It's a move sending shockwaves through universities around the country. The Trump administration has announced Harvard University has been found in quote-unquote violent violation of federal civil rights law for failing to protect Jewish and Israeli students from harassment and discrimination. A federal investigation concluded Harvard had been in some cases deliberately indifferent and in others has been a willing participant in anti-Semitic harassment of Jewish students, faculty, and staff. The findings cite assaults, spitting incidents, anti-Semitic imagery, and a multi-week encampment that disrupted the students' studies and safety of Jewish and Israeli students. The administration's letter to Harvard President Alan Garber warns that if the university doesn't institute adequate changes immediately, it will lose access to federal funding and further damage its relationship with the federal government. This is long overdue. For years, elite universities have hidden behind academic freedom while allowing and sometimes encouraging a toxic environment of identity politics, double standards, and outright bigotry. Harvard's obsession with racial hierarchies and group identity has created a climate where anti-Semitism can fester unchecked. No student should have to hide their identity or fear for their safety on any American campus, especially not at one of the most prestigious institutions. The Trump administration is right to use the power of the purse to hold Harvard accountable. If you take federal dollars, you follow federal law. That's not controversial. It's common sense. And those who say this is just about politics, consider this. The administration has clear documented cases of violence and harassment against Jewish students. So the better question is, why didn't Joe Biden do anything? Maybe it was politics in his case, failing to act to protect American citizens and immigrants to this country getting an education. Lastly, the Trump administration is suing Los Angeles over sanctuary city laws. It's a move certain to ignite the national debate over immigration. It's a federal lawsuit against the city of Los Angeles, challenging its sanctuary city policies. The lawsuit argues that Los Angeles' ordinance barring city resources from being used for immigration enforcement and blocking information sharing with federal authorities creates a lawless environment and obstructs the federal government's efforts to address the crisis of illegal immigration. The administration wants the court to block the city from enforcing the policies, arguing they violate the Supremacy Clause of the United States and discriminate against federal agents. This isn't the first time the Trump administration has gone after sanctuary cities, but the situation in Los Angeles has reached a boiling point. Recent federal immigration raids have led to hundreds of arrests and mass protests. The National Guard and even Marines have been deployed to restore order. Mayor Karen Bass and other city leaders are pushing back, arguing that Trump's measures are heavy-handed and not focused on violent offenders. But the administration's position is clear. Cities that refuse to cooperate with federal law enforcement are undermining the rule of law and putting American citizens at risk. This is a fight for more than just immigration. It's about whether we're a nation of laws or a nation of loopholes. For too long, progressive cities have thumbed their nose at federal law enforcement, prioritizing the interests of illegal immigrants over the safety and security of their own citizens. Sanctuary policies don't just protect the undocumented, they create safe havens for criminals and send a message that the law is optional. The Trump administration is right to draw a line in the sand. If Los Angeles or any city wants to go its own way, it shouldn't expect federal dollars or protection. The Constitution is clear. Federal law is supreme on immigration matters, and cities don't get to pick and choose what laws they'll follow. These four stories paint a picture of an administration and a conservative movement that's focused on restoring order, enforcing the law, and holding powerful institutions accountable. Whether it's foreign policy, immigration, higher education, or the rule of law, the message is the same. Enough is enough. Americans are tired of excuses and double standards. They want results. That's what we're seeing this afternoon. That's what I'll keep bringing you. Honest, accurate analysis, no sugarcoating it, coding it. I'm Eric Erickson. These are the four things you need to know this afternoon. Please subscribe to the podcast. Please like us on YouTube. Follow us there. Stay informed, stay engaged, and above all else, please keep the faith. I'll be back tomorrow. And then I promise I'm taking the rest of the week off. I'm telling them they're going to get fired if they keep me doing this all week. But I'll be on radio until Friday.